Here's a question that'll tell you everything about your future. What are you being paid to stay exactly as you are? I don't mean money, I mean comfort, predictability, the approval of people who've also settled. Because average pays a salary. It pays you in the currency of at least I'm not struggling, and at least people aren't judging me. It pays you to stay small, to keep your dreams quiet, to not risk embarrassment. And for most people, that salary is enough. They cash that check every single day. But here's what I discovered. Extraordinary people don't get paid to stay the same. They pay to change. They invest discomfort, uncertainty, and temporary failure in exchange for growth. So ask yourself, are you collecting a paycheck from average, or are you investing in exceptional? Now, I know that's a hard question. It's the kind of question that might make you a little uncomfortable. And if it does, good. Because comfort is precisely what we need to talk about today. See, if you're watching this right now, I'm willing to bet you've felt something. Maybe it's a quiet ache. Maybe it's a nagging sense that you're capable of more, but somehow can't seem to break through to it. You look around and you see other people living fully, building something meaningful, becoming someone they're genuinely proud of. And you honestly wonder why you're stuck in the same patterns, getting the same results, being the same version of yourself year after year after year. And here's the thing that nobody talks about, the thing that's so important for you to understand. It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you're unmotivated. It's not that you lack intelligence or talent or potential. None of that. What's happening is something far more subtle and far more dangerous. You've been lied to about what creates change. You've been told that success requires a big break, the right connections, perfect timing, or some secret strategy that only the lucky few have access to. So you wait. You wait for conditions to be right. You wait for confidence to arrive. You wait for fear to disappear. You wait for someone to give you permission, to hand you an opportunity, to tell you you're ready. And while you wait, average becomes your default setting. It becomes the air you breathe, the life you live, the future you're creating without even realizing it. Now, I want to bust a myth right here, right now, because this is critical. Average isn't a circumstance. It's not something that happens to you because of where you were born or how much money your parents had or what opportunities came your way. Average is a philosophy. It's a way of thinking, a set of beliefs, a collection of daily habits and choices that you've unknowingly agreed to. And here's the most important part. If you agreed to it, you can disagree with it. If you chose it, even unconsciously, you can unchoose it. What I'm going to show you in the next hour or so is the invisible agreements you've made with mediocrity. The ones hiding in your routines, your self-talk, your associations, and your relationship with discomfort. I'm going to show you why most people never escape average, and I promise you, it's not what you think. And more importantly, I'm going to show you the simple, non-negotiable principles that separate those who break through from those who break down. This isn't motivation. This isn't hype. This is a mirror. And it's going to show you exactly where you've been settling and exactly how to stop. Let me start with a story. I once knew a man, good man, decent man, who said the same thing every Sunday night. Like clockwork, as the weekend was winding down and Monday was creeping up, he'd sit there, look at the clock and say, I can't believe tomorrow's Monday already. He said it every single week. Every single Sunday evening, the same words, the same tone, the same resignation in his voice. For 20 years, he said it. 20 years of dreading Monday. 20 years of wishing his life away 5 days at a time just to get to 2 days of relief. 2 days where he could breathe. 2 days where he could be himself. 2 days before the cycle started all over again. Now, one day I happened to be there when he said it, and I asked him something. I said, if you've hated Mondays for 20 years, why are you still doing what makes you hate them? Simple question, straightforward. But he looked at me like I just asked him why he breathes or why the sun rises. He looked at me like the question itself didn't make sense. And he said, because it's my job, it's what I do. And there it was, right there. That's the philosophy that traps people. It's what I do. Not it's what I chose. Not it's what I'm temporarily doing while I build towards something better. Not even it's what I'm learning from so I can grow. Just, it's what I do. As if his identity and his current circumstances were permanently fused. As if who he was and what he did were the same thing. As if change wasn't even a possibility worth considering. Now, here's what I learned from watching people like him over the years, and I've watched thousands. The moment you say, this is just who I am, or this is just my life, you've signed a contract with average. You've agreed that change is impossible, that growth is for other people, that your current reality is your permanent reality. And that belief, that one invisible belief sitting in the back of your mind, will cost you everything. It'll cost you your potential, your dreams, your sense of aliveness. It'll cost you the best version of yourself. That man I told you about, he retired at 65. He'd spent 40 years hating Mondays. Let me do the math for you. That's 2,080 Mondays. 2,080 days of his one precious life spent in resentment and resignation. 2,080 mornings waking up with a knot in his stomach. 2,080 days wishing he was somewhere else, being someone else, doing something else. And here's the tragedy that still breaks my heart when I think about it. He was capable of so much more. He had talents. He had ideas. He had dreams when he was younger. But somewhere along the way, he stopped believing they were possible. He stopped believing he deserved to pursue them. And he settled into, this is just who I am. You see, average doesn't announce itself. It doesn't knock on your door wearing a name tag that says, hello, I'm mediocrity, and I'm here to ruin your potential. It's far more subtle than that. It shows up as routine. It shows up as, this is just how things are. It shows up as, maybe next year and someday when I have more time and I'll start when conditions are better. It shows up as small compromises that don't seem to matter in the moment. Skipping the morning workout, putting off the book you wanted to write, staying in the relationship that drains you, keeping the job that bores you, not speaking up in the meeting, not starting the business, not learning the skill, one small compromise at a time, one little agreement with mediocrity after another, and before you know it, you've spent decades living a life you tolerated instead of a life you designed. Now let me paint you another picture. Imagine two neighbors. Both of them have land. Both of them have seeds. Both of them have the same 24 hours in a day, the same sun shining down, the same rain falling from the sky, same opportunity, same resources, same potential. The first neighbor, he plants his garden with care. He tills the soil. He doesn't just throw seeds on top of hard ground and hope for the best. No, he prepares the soil. He removes the rocks. He breaks up the hard clumps. He makes it ready to receive. Then he plants quality seeds, not just whatever's cheapest or easiest. He plants what he actually wants to grow. And then, this is the important part, he waters consistently, not when he feels like it, not when it's convenient, every single day. Some days it's hot, some days it's uncomfortable, some days he's tired and he'd rather do something else, but he does it anyway. He shows up. And when he sees weeds starting to grow, he pulls them when they're small, when they're easy to remove, before they take over. He doesn't wait until they're choking his plants. He doesn't ignore them and hope they'll go away. He deals with them. And he protects his garden from neglect. He pays attention. He's vigilant. He cares. And over time, not overnight, but over time, his garden flourishes. It produces fruit. It becomes something beautiful. It becomes something he's proud of. It becomes something that nourishes him and his family. It becomes proof that his effort mattered, that his consistency paid off, that the disciplines he practiced every single day created something valuable. The second neighbor, he has good intentions. Oh, he has wonderful intentions. He talks about planting a garden. He tells people he's going to do it. He buys seeds. He even plants a few. But then what happens? He doesn't tend to them consistently. He waters when he feels like it, when it's easy, when he remembers. He skips days. He tells himself it's fine, that missing one day won't matter, that the plants will be okay. He ignores the weeds because pulling them is uncomfortable. It's hot outside. His back hurts. He's busy with other things. He'll get to it later. He tells himself he'll get serious about it next week, next month, next season. He tells himself he's just waiting for the right time, for more energy, for a better mood. And meanwhile, what's happening to his garden? It's being overtaken. Weeds are spreading. The good seeds he planted are getting choked out. The The soil is getting hard. And over time, his garden produces exactly what he planted with his actions, not his intentions. Weeds, neglect, and unfulfilled potential. Now here's the part that matters, the part I need you to really hear. Both neighbors had the same opportunity, same land, same seeds, same Sunday, same rain, same hours in the day. The difference wasn't resources. The difference wasn't luck. The difference wasn't that one had advantages the other didn't. The difference was philosophy. One believed that small, consistent disciplines create long-term results. The other believed that intentions and occasional effort would somehow be enough. One understood that you reap what you sow, and that the sowing must be consistent. The other hoped that the laws of the harvest would make an exception for him. Your life is the garden. Your daily habits are the seeds. Your thoughts are the soil. Your consistency is the water. And average is what grows when you plant nothing and tend to nothing. It's not a punishment. It's not bad luck. It's not the universe being unfair. It's just the natural result of neglect. It's just the harvest that comes from inconsistent sowing. So let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. What are you planting in your life right now? Not what do you intend to plant, not what you wish would grow, not what you tell people you're going to do someday. What are your daily habits actually producing? What seeds are you sowing when nobody's watching? What are you tending to with your time, your energy, your attention? Because here's what I can promise you, and I promise you this with absolute certainty. 5 years from now, you will be living in the garden you're planting today. The harvest is coming. It always comes. You can't stop it. The only question is, what will it contain? Now, I want to try something with me. I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Or if you're driving or you can't close your eyes right now, just imagine with me. Picture yourself 10 years from now. But I don't want you to picture the fantasy version where everything magically worked out and all your problems disappeared and life became easy. I want you to picture the real version, the honest version, the version that results from continuing exactly as you are right now, today, in this moment. Same habits, same excuses, same fears running the show, same philosophies guiding your choices, same daily disciplines or lack thereof, same people influencing you, same relationship with discomfort, same willingness to settle for good enough instead of excellent. What does that person look like 10 years from now? How do they feel about their life? What's the expression on their face when they look in the mirror? What regrets are they carrying around like weights on their shoulders? What opportunities did they let slip by? What dreams did they give up on? What potential did they leave untapped? Now imagine that version of you, that future self, could write you a letter. Imagine they could reach back through time and communicate with you right here, right now. What would they say? Would they thank you for the choices you're making today? Would they be grateful for your discipline, your courage, your willingness to do hard things? Or would they beg you to wake up? Would they plead with you to stop settling? Would they cry out to you to stop trading long-term fulfillment for short-term comfort? Would they show you all the pain that came from your unwillingness to change? I've done this exercise with thousands of people over the years, in seminars, in conversations, in quiet moments of reflection. And you know what happens? They cry. Not everyone, but many. They cry. Not because the future is hopeless, not because it's too late. They cry because they suddenly see it. They suddenly see the cost of average. They see that average isn't neutral. They see that settling isn't harmless. They see that every day they wait is a day they can't get back. They see that average is expensive. It costs you the person you could have become. It costs you the life you could have lived. It costs you the impact you could have made. It costs you the pride and self-respect that comes from knowing you gave your best effort. But here's the beautiful part, the part that fills me with hope every single time I think about it. Your future isn't written yet. That 10-year version of you, they don't exist yet. They're not real yet. You're creating them right now today with every choice you make, every habit you practice, every belief you hold, every person you spend time with. And that means you have the power to change the ending. You have the power to write a different story. You have the power to become someone you're proud of. The question is, and this is the question that changes everything, are you willing to disappoint your current self, the one who wants comfort and predictability and ease, in order to honor your future self. Because that's the trade. That's always the trade. Growth requires you to do today what your current self doesn't want to do, so that your future self can live in a way your current self can only dream about. Now, let me make something crystal clear, because this is where most people get it wrong. You're not average because of your circumstances. You're average because of your philosophy about your circumstances. Read that again. Let it sink in. You're not average because of where you were born, how much money your parents had, what color your skin is, what education you received, what opportunities came your way or didn't. You're average because of what you believe about all of those things. I've met people born into poverty who became millionaires. I've met people born into wealth who squandered everything and ended up broke and bitter. I've met people with disabilities who accomplished extraordinary things that most fully able people never even attempt. I've met people with every advantage, every opportunity, every resource handed to them on a silver platter who accomplished nothing and ended up miserable. The difference was never the starting point. The difference was always the philosophy. Your philosophy is the set of beliefs you hold about yourself, your potential, what's possible for you, what you deserve, what you're capable of, and how the world works. It's your operating system. It's the lens through which you see everything. It's the foundation upon which you build your entire life. And here's what most people don't realize, what nobody ever taught you in school. You inherited most of your philosophy. You didn't choose it consciously. You didn't sit down one day and decide what you were going to believe about money or success or relationships or yourself. You absorbed it. You soaked it up like a sponge from your parents, your culture, your early experiences, your failures, your successes, and the people around you. If you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees and we can't afford that and people like us don't do that and don't get your hopes up, guess what philosophy you internalized? Scarcity, limitation, average. Not as a conscious choice, but as an unconscious belief. If you grew up watching your parents struggle and complain and settle, guess what you learned? That struggle and complaint and settling are normal. That's just how life is. If you grew up in an environment where nobody talked about dreams or goals or possibilities, where everyone just did what they had to do to get by, guess what became your normal? Getting by, surviving, not thriving, just surviving. But here's the breakthrough, and this is huge. If you inherited your philosophy, you can change it. You can upgrade it. You can replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. You can install new software in your mind. But first you have to identify what you currently believe. You have to become aware of the invisible beliefs running in the background, making your decisions for you, keeping you stuck. Let me give you an example. If you believe I'm not good with money, what are you going to do? You're going to avoid learning about money. You're going to avoid budgeting. You're going to avoid investing. You're going to make poor financial decisions and then point to them as proof that you were right. See, I told you I'm not good with money. And the cycle continues. But if you change that belief to, I'm learning to manage money wisely, what happens? You start reading books. You start paying attention. You start making better choices. You start proving to yourself that you can learn and grow. And over time, you become good with money, not because you were born that way, but because you decided to become that way. Your outer life will never exceed your inner philosophy. Never. You can't outperform your self-image. You can't create results that contradict your core beliefs about yourself. If you believe you're average, you will create average results. Not because you're incapable, not because the universe is against you, but because you will unconsciously sabotage anything that contradicts your self-concept. You'll pull back right when you're about to break through. You'll find reasons why it won't work. You'll give up just before the harvest. Why? Because extraordinary results don't match your identity. They don't fit with who you believe you are. And human beings will always act in ways that are consistent with who they believe they are. So the first step to escaping average isn't working harder. It isn't hustling more. It isn't finding better opportunities. The first step is examining the beliefs that are running your life behind the scenes. It's asking yourself, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about my potential? What do I believe about what's possible for someone like me? And where did those beliefs come from? Are they even mine? Are they true? Are they serving me? Now let's talk about discipline, because this is where the rubber meets the road. Here's a truth that'll set you free if you let it. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. I know. That's not sexy. That's not exciting. You wanted me to tell you about some secret strategy or some hidden opportunity or some shortcut that nobody knows about, but there isn't one. There's just discipline. Motivation is emotional. It comes and goes like the tide. It's high when you watch an inspiring video or attend a seminar or start a new year with fresh goals. And it's low when life gets hard, when obstacles show up, when you're tired, when nobody's cheering for you anymore. Motivation is like a fair weather friend. It's there when things are easy and disappears when things get tough. Discipline, on the other hand, is a decision. It's a commitment. It's doing what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. It's showing up on the days you don't want to. It's doing the work when it's boring and tedious and nobody's watching. It's staying consistent when results aren't coming fast enough. It's refusing to negotiate with your excuses. Average people wait to feel like it. They wait for inspiration, for energy, for the perfect mood, for motivation to strike like lightning. They say things like, I'll do it when I feel more motivated, or I'll start when I'm ready, or I just need to get in the right headspace first. And while they wait, nothing changes. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, and they're still waiting to feel like it. Extraordinary people do it anyway. They show up when it's hard. They show up when it's boring. They show up when no one's watching. They show up when they'd rather be doing something else. They understand that action creates motivation, not the other way around. When you act with discipline, when you do the hard thing even though you don't feel like it, something magical happens. You generate self-respect. You start to trust yourself. You prove to yourself that you're the kind of person who keeps commitments. And that trust, that self-respect, becomes the fuel for even greater action. But most people have it backwards. They're waiting for motivation to create discipline, and it never comes. They're waiting to feel inspired before they take action. And meanwhile, their goals sit on a shelf gathering dust. Their dreams fade a little more each day. Their potential goes untapped. And they wonder why nothing changes. Here's what I learned that changed my life. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is filled with uncomfortable daily disciplines. Not one big action, not one perfect decision, not one lucky break. Uncomfortable daily disciplines, small things done consistently over time. There's no shortcut, there's no hack, there's no way around it. There's just the quiet, unglamorous work of showing up consistently. Let me be specific. What are we talking about here? We're talking about reading 10 pages of a good book every day, even though you're tired. We're talking about saving a portion of your income every single month, even though there are things you want to buy. We're talking about exercising even when you don't feel like it. We're talking about working on your business after everyone else has gone to bed. We're talking about having the difficult conversation you've been avoiding. We're talking about waking up early to work on your dreams. We're talking about saying no to distractions. We're talking about doing what's hard now so life can be easier later. These disciplines are easy to do. That's important. They're not complicated. They don't require special talent or genius or luck. Reading 10 pages? Easy. Saving money? Easy. Exercising for 30 minutes? Easy. Making sales calls? Easy. Writing for an hour? Easy. But here's the problem. Here's the trap. Because they're easy to do, they're also easy not to do. Missing one day doesn't hurt you. Skipping one workout, skipping one day of reading, spending instead of saving, sleeping in instead of working on your goals, it doesn't create an immediate consequence. You don't fail today because you skipped your discipline today. So people skip it. And then they skip it again and again. And they think it doesn't matter. They think they're getting away with it. But they're not. Because failure works the same way. Failure is also the result of small errors in judgment repeated every day. Eating poorly doesn't kill you today. Being undisciplined doesn't ruin your life today. Not reading, not learning, not growing, not saving, none of it destroys you immediately. But do it every day for 10 years? Do it every day for 20 years. Now you're unhealthy and broke and stuck and wondering what happened. Now you're looking around asking why everyone else is ahead of you. Now you're that person saying, I can't believe tomorrow's Monday already, and hating your life. The same actions that lead to success are the same actions that lead to failure. It all depends on whether you're doing them or avoiding them. And the devastating part, both are easy. It's easy to do the disciplines that create success, and it's easy to avoid them. Both paths are right in front of you every single day. One leads to extraordinary, one leads to average, and you get to choose. Every single day you get to choose. So the question isn't what's the secret to success? The question is, are you willing to do the simple, unglamorous, daily disciplines that everyone knows, but almost no one does? Are you willing to be uncomfortable today so you can be comfortable tomorrow? Are you willing to sacrifice what you want right now for what you want most? Now let me talk about something that might upset you, but I care about you too much not to say it. If you want to know why you're average, look at who you're spending time with. I'm not saying this to be cruel. I'm not saying it to be judgmental. I'm saying it because it's true, and I've watched it play out in thousands of lives. Your associations don't just influence you, they shape you, they mold you. They determine your future more than almost anything else. The people you surround yourself with set the standard for what's normal, what's acceptable, what's possible. They set the tone for how you talk to yourself, how you think about opportunities, how you respond to challenges, how ambitious you allow yourself to be. If you spend your time with people who complain, you'll complain. If you spend your time with people who blame others for their problems, you'll blame. If you spend your time with people who've given up on their dreams, you'll give up on yours. Not because you're weak, not because you're easily influenced, but because human beings are social creatures. We're wired to conform, we're wired to fit in, we're wired to mirror the people around us. It's biology, it's psychology, it's how we survived as a species. But here's the flip side, and this is where hope comes in. If you surround yourself with people who are growing, learning, building, dreaming, taking action, you'll be pulled upward. Their standards will become your standards. Their energy will become your energy. Their belief in what's possible will expand your own. Their discipline will inspire your discipline. Their success will prove to you that success is possible. You won't have to wonder if it can be done. You'll see it being done right in front of you. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can hear it already. But Jim, these are my friends. These are my family. I can't just abandon them. I can't just cut people out of my life. And you're right. You don't have to. I'm not telling you to be cruel. I'm not telling you to hurt people. But I am telling you that you have to make a choice. You have to decide whether you're going to let their limitations define your potential. Sometimes love means creating distance. Sometimes growth means spending less time with people who keep you small, even if they're good people, even if you care about them, even if they're family. It's not about judgment. It's not about thinking you're better than them. It's about self-preservation. It's about protecting your future. It's about honoring the person you're becoming. Here's what happens when you try to grow in an environment that doesn't support growth. You get pulled back down. Every time you try to rise, there's someone there to remind you of your past failures. Every time you dream bigger, there's someone there to tell you to be realistic. Every time you take a risk, there's someone there to remind you of all the reasons it won't work. And eventually, if you stay in that environment long enough, you start to believe them. You start to think maybe they're right. Maybe you should just accept your lot in life. Maybe you should stop trying to be more than what you are. But that's not love. That's not support. That's fear. It's their fear that if you change, if you grow, if you become successful, it'll make them look bad. It'll force them to confront their own lack of action. It'll remind them of all the excuses they've been making. So they keep you small to make themselves feel better. They keep you average to justify their own averageness. You cannot grow beyond the expectations of your environment. You cannot. If everyone around you has settled for average, you'll need extraordinary strength to break free. And why make it harder than it has to be? Why fight an uphill battle when you could change your environment and let it pull you forward instead of holding you back? The easier path is to change your environment. Find people who are where you want to be. Find people who are doing what you want to do. Find people who believe in possibilities instead of limitations. Find people who celebrate your growth instead of resenting it. Find people who ask you about your progress Instead of trying to distract you with gossip and drama, find people who challenge you to be better instead of comforting you in your mediocrity. And I know that's hard. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it might mean eating lunch alone for a while. I know it might mean not going to every social gathering. I know it might mean being misunderstood. But here's what I also know. Your future is more important than your comfort. Your potential is more important than popularity. The person you're becoming is more important than the approval of people who aren't going anywhere. So ask yourself, are the people in your life cheering for your growth, or are they threatened by it? Are they asking you about your goals, or are they telling you to stop dreaming? Are they celebrating your wins, or are they downplaying them? Are they offering encouragement, or are they offering excuses for why you can't or shouldn't? And based on those answers, make a choice, a conscious choice about who gets your time, your energy, your attention. Now let me give you the formula that everyone's looking for. The formula that people pay thousands of dollars to learn at seminars and workshops. The formula that fills books and courses and coaching programs. You ready? Here it is. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. That's it. That's the secret. There's no magic. There's no hidden knowledge. There's no special DNA. There's just the compounding effect of small, smart choices made consistently over time. Let me break it down. Read 30 minutes a day. That's it. Just 30 minutes. In 1 year, you'll have read a dozen books. In 10 years, you'll have read hundreds of books and become one of the most knowledgeable people in your field. 30 minutes a day. Save 10% of your income. Just 10%. Don't spend it. Don't touch it. Save it and invest it wisely. In 20 years, you'll be financially independent. In 30 years, you'll be wealthy. 10%. Exercise for 30 minutes a day. Just 30 minutes. Move your body. Get your heart rate up. In 5 years, you'll have transformed your health and energy. In 10 years, you'll be in better shape than 90% of people your age. 30 minutes a day. But here's the problem. These disciplines are easy to do. Reading 30 minutes? Easy. Saving 10%? Easy. Exercising 30 minutes? Easy. So people think, if it's that easy, I can do it anytime. I can start tomorrow. I can start next week. I can start next month. And because they're easy to do, they're also easy not to do. And missing 1 day doesn't seem to matter. Missing 1 workout, not a big deal. Skipping 1 day of reading, no immediate consequence. Spending instead of saving this month, life won't fall apart. So they skip it. And then they skip it again and again. And before they know it, years have passed and nothing has changed. They're still out of shape, they're still broke, they're still ignorant, and they're wondering why. Meanwhile, on the other side, failure is also the result of small errors in judgment repeated every day. Eating junk food doesn't make you unhealthy today. It just doesn't. 1 bad meal won't hurt you. But eat junk food every day for 10 years. Now you're overweight, your energy is gone, your health is declining. Spending more than you make doesn't destroy your finances today, doesn't bankrupt you immediately, but do it every month for 10 years. Now you're drowning in debt with no way out. Not learning, not reading, not growing doesn't make you irrelevant today, but do it for 10 years while everyone around you is improving. Now you're obsolete, now you're replaceable, now you're stuck. The same actions that lead to success are the same actions that lead to failure. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Failure is a few errors in judgment repeated every day. And the devastating truth? Both are easy. It's easy to do the things that create success. It's easy to avoid them. Both choices are right there in front of you. One path leads to extraordinary results, fulfillment, pride, freedom. The other path leads to regret, limitation, mediocrity, wondering what could have been. And every single day, you choose with your actions, not your intentions, with your habits, not your wishes, with your disciplines, not your dreams. So the question isn't, what's the secret? There is no secret. The question is, are you willing to do what you already know you should be doing? Are you willing to be consistent? Are you willing to delay gratification? Are you willing to sacrifice immediate pleasure for long-term gain? Are you willing to do today what others won't so you can live tomorrow in a way others can't? Now, let me give you something practical. Something you can do today. Right now. Don't wait. Don't say you'll do it later. Do it now. Take out a piece of paper. I mean it. Actually, take out a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and write down your current beliefs about money, success, relationships, and your own potential. Just write what comes to mind. Don't filter it. Don't make it sound good. Write the raw, honest truth of what you actually believe deep down about money. Do you believe it's scarce or abundant? Do you believe you're good with it or bad with it? Do you believe you deserve to have a lot of it? About success, do you believe it's possible for you or reserved for other people? Do you believe you have what it takes? About relationships, do you believe you're worthy of love? Do you believe you have to settle? About your potential, do you believe you're capable of extraordinary things or just average things? Do you believe your best days are ahead of you or behind you? Write it down, all of it. And then, this is the important part, ask yourself, where did I learn this? Did I choose this belief consciously or did I inherit it from someone else? Did this belief come from my own experience and wisdom? Or did it come from my parents, my culture, my early failures, the kids who made fun of me in school, the teacher who told me I wasn't smart, the relationship that didn't work out, the business that failed? Where did this belief come from? And then ask the most important question, is this belief serving me or is it limiting me? Is this belief helping me grow or is it keeping me stuck? Is this belief true or is it just something I've repeated so many times I've started to believe it? You'll be shocked. I promise you, you'll be absolutely shocked at how many of your beliefs aren't even yours. They're hand-me-downs. They're beliefs you borrowed from people who were stuck, people who settled, people who gave up, and you've been living by them without question. You've been making decisions based on beliefs you didn't choose and don't even agree with. Once you identify a limiting belief, write a new one next to it. For example, if you wrote, I'm not good with money, write next to it, I'm learning to manage money wisely. I'm improving every day. If you wrote, success isn't for people like me, write, success is available to anyone willing to work for it, and I'm willing. If you wrote, I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I don't have enough education, write, my age and education don't define my potential. My actions do. And then, and this is critical, start acting as if the new belief is true. Not someday, not when you feel confident, today, right now. If your new belief is, I'm learning to manage money wisely, then today, read an article about personal finance. Today, create a budget. Today, save $5. Take one action that aligns with your new belief, just one. And then tomorrow, take another. And the next day, another. And watch what happens. Watch how your new actions create new results. Watch how new results create new confidence. Watch how new confidence creates new beliefs. And watch how new beliefs create a new life. Here's another practice. Choose one discipline and commit to it for 7 days. Just 7 days. Just one discipline. Don't try to overhaul your entire life. That's how people fail. They get inspired and they try to change everything at once, and within a week they're overwhelmed and they quit. Don't do that. Just pick one. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of a good book every morning. Maybe it's saving $5 a day. Maybe it's taking a 20-minute walk. Maybe it's writing down 3 things you're grateful for before bed. Maybe it's making your bed every morning. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water before coffee. Just one. Something small. Something manageable. But commit to it. Commit to doing it every single day for 7 days without exception. Why? Because you're not just building a habit, you're building self-trust. You're proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who makes a commitment and keeps it. You're proving that you can be disciplined. You're proving that you're in control. And once you've done it for 7 days, extend it to 30, and then 90. And before long, that one discipline will have transformed your entire life. Not because the discipline itself was life-changing, but because it changed who you are. It changed your identity. You became someone who keeps commitments, someone who's disciplined, someone who follows through. And when you see yourself that way, everything else starts to shift. Here's another one. Make a list of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Actually make the list. Write down their names. The 5 people you talk to most, hang out with most, text with most, spend your free time with. Got them? Good. Now honestly assess. Are these people making me better, or are they keeping me comfortable? Are they encouraging my growth, or are they subtly discouraging it? Are they dreaming bigger, or have they settled? Are they taking action toward goals, or are they complaining about how hard life is? Are they reading, learning, improving, or are they watching TV and gossiping and killing time? Are they lifting me up, or are they dragging me down? Be honest, brutally honest. This isn't about whether they're nice people. This isn't about whether you enjoy their company. This is about whether they're helping you become who you want to become or keeping you who you currently are. And if the answer is that they're keeping you comfortable, keeping you small, keeping you stuck, then you need to make a decision. You don't need to cut anyone off today. You don't need to have dramatic conversations or burn bridges. But you do need to be intentional. You need to start limiting your exposure. You need to start saying no to invitations that don't serve your growth. You need to start protecting your time and energy. At the same time, start seeking out people who are where you want to be. Join groups. Attend events. Take courses. Read books by people who've accomplished what you want to accomplish. Listen to podcasts. Watch videos. Surround yourself with voices that inspire growth instead of justify mediocrity. Even if you can't physically be around successful people yet, you can be around their ideas. You can let their philosophies influence you. You can let their standards become your standards. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose them wisely. Your associations will shape your destiny more than almost anything else. Choose them wisely. And here's one more. Sit down somewhere quiet, turn off your phone, eliminate distractions, and write a detailed description of who you want to become in 5 years. Not what you want to have, not the house or the car or the bank account. Who you want to be. What kind of person do you want to be? What habits does that person have? How do they spend their time? How do they handle adversity? What do they believe about themselves? How do they treat other people? What's their morning routine? What's their evening routine? What do they read? Who do they spend time with? How do they respond when things don't go their way? What's their relationship with money, with health, with family, with work? Write it all down. Be specific. Be detailed. Create a vivid picture of that person. And then ask yourself, what would that person do today? If the person you want to become in 5 years was making the choice you're about to make right now, what would they choose? If they were in your situation, how would they respond? What would they prioritize? Would they hit snooze or get up? Would they scroll or read? Would they spend or save? Would they avoid the hard conversation or have it? Would they make the sales call or make another excuse? What would they do? And here's the key, the part that changes everything. Start making those choices today. Not when you feel ready. Not when conditions are perfect. Not when you have more money or more time or more confidence. Today, right now, exactly where you are with exactly what you have. Because you don't become your future self someday. You become them through the choices you make today. You become them one decision at a time, one discipline at a time, one day at a time. So here's where we are. You started watching this video, maybe, wondering why you haven't broken through yet, why you're still stuck in patterns that don't serve you, why average feels like a trap you can't escape, why everyone else seems to be moving forward while you're standing still, why your dreams feel more distant than ever, even though you're getting older and time is running out. And here's what I hope you've learned. I hope you've learned that average isn't something that happened to you. It's not bad luck. It's not the economy. It's not your parents. It's not your circumstances. Average is something you've been choosing, mostly unconsciously, through your philosophy, your daily disciplines, and your associations. It's something you've been agreeing to, one small compromise at a time, one skipped workout, one unread book, one undisciplined day, one excuse, one justification, one conversation with someone who keeps you small, one choice to stay comfortable instead of growing. That's how average happens. That's how years pass and nothing changes. But the beautiful truth, the truth that should fill you with hope and excitement and possibility is this. If you chose it, you can unchoose it. If you created it, you can recreate it. If you agreed to it, you can disagree with it. You can change your philosophy. You can install new disciplines. You can upgrade your associations. You can start today, right now, this moment, exactly where you are. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need more time or more money or more confidence. You just need to decide. You just need to commit. You just need to start. It won't be easy. Let me be honest with you. Growth is never easy. Change is never comfortable. You'll face resistance. You'll face it from your old habits that don't want to die. You'll face it from your environment that wants you to stay the same. You'll face it from the part of you that's terrified of failure, terrified of judgment, terrified of stepping into your potential and still falling short. You'll have days where you doubt yourself, days where you want to quit, days where you wonder if it's worth it, days where average starts to look pretty good again because at least it's familiar, at least it's safe, at least it doesn't ask anything of you. But here's what I know from decades of watching people transform their lives. The pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of regret. The discomfort of growth is nothing compared to the devastation of looking back at a life half-lived. The temporary struggle of becoming better is nothing compared to the permanent ache of wondering what you could have been if only you'd tried. So let me give you something. Let me give you words to hold on to when it gets hard, words to repeat when you're tempted to give up, words to anchor yourself to when doubt creeps in. Here they are. I am not a victim of average. I am a creator of my own life. My past does not define me. My circumstances do not limit me. I am capable of extraordinary things, and I prove it through small daily disciplines. I am not broken. I've just been misled. I've just been operating from old beliefs that no longer serve me. And starting today, I take full responsibility for who I become. Starting today, I stop blaming. I stop making excuses. I stop waiting for perfect conditions. Starting today, I become the person I know I'm capable of being. Starting today, I choose extraordinary over average. I choose growth over comfort. I choose my future over my past. Say that not just once, say it every morning. Say it when you're about to make a choice. Say it when you're tempted to skip your discipline. Say it when someone tries to pull you back into old patterns. Say it until you believe it. Say it until it becomes part of your identity. Say it until it becomes the foundation of your new philosophy. And now let me ask you one final question. This is the question that matters most. This is the question that will determine your next 5 years, your next 10 years, the rest of your life. What's the one discipline you're going to install today? Not tomorrow, not next week, not Monday when you feel more motivated. Today, right now, what's the one discipline that, if you practiced it consistently, would transform your life? What's the one belief you're going to challenge? What's the one step you're going to take toward becoming the person you know you're capable of being? Because here's the truth. I can't do it for you. Your friends can't do it for you. Your family can't do it for you. No one can. This is your life, your one chance, your one shot at becoming everything you were meant to be. And it starts today with one choice, one discipline, one decision to stop collecting a paycheck from average and start investing in exceptional. Don't waste it. Don't waste another day. Don't waste another year. Don't become that person who looks back with regret, wondering what could have been if only you'd tried. Be the person who looks back with pride, knowing you gave your best effort. Be the person your future self will thank. Be the person who escaped average. Now, if this resonated with you, if something here clicked, if something shifted inside of you, do me a favor, hit that like button. Not for me, but as a commitment to yourself that you're done settling. Press it as a declaration that today is the day things change. Leave a comment below and tell me the one discipline you're committing to this week. Write it down. Make it public. Make yourself accountable. And subscribe to this channel, because I'll be here sharing more of these timeless principles that separate those who grow from those who stay stuck. More truth, more wisdom, more tools for building a life you're proud of. Your future self is waiting. They're watching. They're hoping you'll make the right choice today. Don't disappoint them. Now go. Take action. Start small, but start today. And remember, you're not average. You never were. You've just been operating from a philosophy that told you that you were. And today, that philosophy dies. Today, a new one is born. Today, you begin